everyone. I'm a couple of minutes early. A couple of minutes early, me? Yep, I am a couple of minutes early. Trying to make sure that I got everything going on here the way it's supposed to be. So, yeah, I'll give everybody a couple minutes to get caught up. And that gray is coming in and it's fighting me tooth and nail. Okay, we're here about the carbs. Hi, my name is Kim. If you are new here, my name is Kim. Hey, Joshua. Yes, you are first. And I am on a weight loss journey. I try to practice low carbs for the most part. Yes, you did. Always. And I'm also on Mounjaro. Speaking of which, today is my injection day. And thank you for that thumbs up. And Josh, and I'm titrating up today. I'm a little nervous, but excited at the same time. I am titrating up to 10.0. So that's what's happening. I've got my new dose, and we'll see what happens. I've got a video to put out of what took place this week. I went to the doctor today. That was a different doctor. That was the surgical specialist, but I'll talk about that in my upcoming video, which will be out on Friday. You know, when I do my injection day, then the very next video that I put out will be on Friday about what I ate that week and anything else that was going on. Yeah, I did not walk today. I was supposed to walk today. I did not get out and walk. I'll walk tomorrow. I still have Thursday. And hey, Felicia Marie B, so glad to have you in the building. I'll walk tomorrow. And I'll see what I'm gonna do Friday. I'll let y'all know about Friday. But in any event, yes, I'm here Wednesday night. Is my additional night to go live. I normally go live on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's when I'm trying to create different recipes or experimenting. Sometimes I'll have a guest. I've had guests, you know, previously early on when I first started. And so, yeah, I've got some guests lined up. Here we are, guys, the biggie, Mounjaro 10.0. Oh, my goodness, this is the biggie. I'm a little nervous. I'm both nervous and excited, okay? I am definitely both nervous and excited. I have been on 7.5, I believe, for 8 doses. So that's, you know, about 2 months. And the food noise has been getting louder. And so for me, I was like, I had told my doctor, I think it was time to titrate up. And so I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. I'm nervous, but I'm ready. Because it's not that I don't still know that the 7.5 is there. But at the same time, I'm not even going to lie. I've been eating a little bit more than usual. When I went to the doctor today, I'm getting ready to give myself the injection, and I do give it in my thigh. When I went to the doctor today, I didn't even want to get on the scale. Thank you. What which one are you on? I didn't even want to get on the scale, y'all, because I knew I had gained weight. Plus, it was the middle of the day. My appointment was at like 1:50, so they didn't really call me in until, until after 2. And then I had on my clothes. They didn't want me to take off my shoes. And that was, So, yeah, I was basically up like 5 pounds. Okay. Is that bound 7.5 and your dad is on Moondraw 5.0? Yeah. That 5.0 was a biggie, too. All right, here we go. You get the 2. Make sure I'm in here. All right. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the 10.0 goes. I was watching Downsizing Diva, and she gave some great tips. This sofa pulls you in. She gave some great tips, one of which was to make sure that you eat on, that you have a full stomach when you take the injection, which I normally do. So I was glad about that. But yeah. So I had some things that, I wanted to talk a little bit about today. And of course, if you guys want to talk about something, please submit a question. Excuse me. I'm not on StreamYard, so I don't even know how to bring somebody up. I've been trying to go live directly through YouTube. But I wanted to just talk about the fact that the scale is not who we really are. We can get so caught up on that scale. I almost told them no. I was like, they'll think something is wrong with me if I tell them I don't want to get on the scale. But that's how nervous I was, because I knew that I had been eating. So, the scale does not define me. It's not who I am. Of course, on this journey, you're going to go up and down, up and down. And even though we say that and we know that, it's still hard to get used to, especially when you reach some great numbers that you haven't seen before, And for me, every time I get close, like I'm at 330. Of course, like I said, I gained, 5 pounds. Well, the last time I went to the doctor, I was up 3 pounds. So that was at 333. I have not gotten on the scale since then that I can recall. I'm just flat out not going to weigh myself until August. Okay? Because number one, I know I've been eating. Number two, I don't want to get depressed or upset, like not literally depressed, but I don't want to feel bad because I know I've been eating, and then I get on the scale and it reflects that I've been eating. And so I'm just like, get it together, get your walking together, and you'll get on the scale in August. And because once I reach a certain weight, I don't ever want to go backwards. And so that kind of I don't really know how to explain it, but it kind of messes with my psyche. I don't want to get back on the Thank you, Felicia Marie. I don't want to get back on the scale and be up, because if I get back on the scale like I did today and I'm up, previously I would just get back on in a couple of days. Okay, I watched everything I ate or I didn't eat or I did intermittent fasting. I should be down at least a pound. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to torture myself going back and forth, up and down, up and down. So I know I've been eating more than usual. So I'm just okay, I'm going to get on the scale. I've also been doing the strength training. So I could, say, well, maybe it's muscle or whatever. But in any event, I don't want to play those hate games. I'm just going to be okay, this is the 23rd. Don't get on the scale for another week. Get on in August. and see what's what. And that's going to give me a clear view of what I'm actually doing. And especially with this new injection 10.0. You know, it's difficult to, again, it's difficult when you're not feeling hungry, but you know that it's time to eat, and you know that, you know, your nutritionist or doctor or whomever wants you to eat 3 times a day. It's difficult to eat, but at the same time, when you get hungry because you didn't eat when you should have eaten, then you can become very, very hungry. And so, you know, that's another issue. So a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One is the mental, emotional, and physical changes that this weight loss, the GLP-1 weight loss, you know, can have. You know, if you have experienced any mental, emotional, or physical changes, please chime in, you know, and, you know, it's just something that if you're thinking about it, to be mindful of, you know, because no matter what, people think that it's a miracle drug. You have to really convince yourself that it's not. I mean, let's face it, you're taking it to lose weight. So when you don't lose weight, then it's like, okay, what did I do? What's the point? You know, why am I taking it if it's supposed to, you know, help me to lose weight? So, you know, we have to be mindful of those things. I hope I'm not all over the place because a lot of times I am. But let me start with the easy stuff. You know, if you're thinking about going on a weight loss or GLP-1, or if you have diabetes or pre-diabetes or anything like that, and you know your doctor is willing to recommend you for it and your insurance will pay for it, yada yada yada, then here are some questions. Hey Annette, how are you? So glad to have you here. Those of you in the weeds back there, please don't forget to thumbs up the live for me. I got 3 thumbs up. Come on, it's free. So some of the questions, thank you, are understanding your numbers. You know, when you, of course, ask about your labs, ask about your A1C, your liver enzymes, your B12, and your thyroid. I already have an underactive thyroid. I've been taking that for a long time. Probably, I have been taking thyroid medication probably since I hit menopause. Probably because, you know, I went through a lot when I went through menopause. My body was just completely out of whack. I mean, I had low, my iron was low, my blood levels were low. I was at like about a 7, I think. It was a while ago. And my doctors were like, if you get any lower, we're going to have to do a blood transfusion, because I was, you know, bleeding so badly during menopause. Because when that hormonal change begins, for some women, your body is confused, you know, as to when your cycle is supposed to come on and when it's not supposed to come on. You know, prior to that, you were on that monthly cycle. And I don't know if any of you notice, it might be like a wives' tale to some people or whatever, but please chime in. Let me check over here. Let me check over here. If you live in a house with women, or if you go around women, yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, I would go to work and I could barely, like, from my car inside the building, I was like done. And but what I was about to say is, if you've ever lived with like women, this is what they say. It's kind of like you know, alpha females or whatever. If you are in a house with women and the stronger woman's cycle begins, it's going to revamp your cycle. So you may have just had a cycle like 2 weeks ago. But if there's a dominant woman present and her cycle is on, it can cause your cycle to change. Now, whether you believe that or not, of course, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, whether it's an old wives' tale, I know it to have happened because I've raised 6 girls, okay? 5 biological daughters and a bonus daughter. So, you know, somebody will be like, my cycle was on again. Like, what's going on? So coupled with that and just going through the menopause and my cycle out of whack and then the extreme bleeding, I was jacked up. So I had to take iron, liquid iron, and I had to take a thyroid because my thyroid was underactive. And I did not get a hysterectomy. My doctor, I had like a hippie doctor. My doctor was a mess at that time, okay? Yes. No boys, none at all. So my doctor, my first marriage was 30 years. We had 5 girls, no boys. And then I moved down to North Carolina afterwards and remarried. And he had 4 daughters. Well, he had 5. One had passed away. He had 4 daughters, but his youngest, he was raising her. So that's one of the things that drew me to him. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so my doctor was like a hippie doctor. And I'm laughing because I had asked him about a breast reduction. I know I digress. I had asked him, I was like, like my shoulders hurt. Like, he was like, no. He was like, do you know people pay for those? I was like, excuse me? So he's like, he was really crazy. So he was like, look, I'm going to try this. I forgot what they called it. I forgot the name that they called it. He was like, but basically, we're going to take like what you would know to be like a curling iron, and we're going to take it and roll it around your uterus and try to seal everything. And if it stops the bleeding, then you're good. If not, you got to get a hysterectomy. So I know that's graphic, y'all. But we're women. We have to go through these things. Sorry if any guys watch the channel. So, like we are the real warriors, okay? So basically that's what they did, and it worked. Somebody knows the technical name for it, the professional name for it. I surely don't, but I remember his explanation. So that's what I had. And so I have been I went down that journey, that rabbit hole, because of the thyroid medication, having an underactive thyroid. And so, it was times that I was like looking and feeling lethargic, like sleep but woke. Probably still times like that, but and anytime I feel like something is wrong, then I'm just like, did you take your thyroid medicine? So yeah. The point there was, when you go, ask your doctors about your levels. Okay, and that is asking, Felicia, how long have you been on 7.5? Oh, okay, let's see. She said, how long have you been on 7.5? I started 10 not too long ago because the food noise creeped in. Yes, that's what's happening to me now. And that I just took my first injection. I don't know if you saw it, of 10. Because that food noise was like, girl, please. For 2 months, because I had, I think, 8 injections on 7.5. It was good because when I first started it, it was way stronger than the 5. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay. But, I don't know what that is. I don't know, like, if your body is developing an immunity or what. But yeah, so how long have you been on 10 and that? Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm struggling with, do I eat when I'm not hungry. Because when you talk to the nutritionist, the dietitian, the weight loss management, they're like, look, we need you to eat 3 meals a day. Josh is saying hi. Felicia said, I've been on 17 weeks. It's been strong for me, but I eat a lot of protein. Okay, so that's okay. A lot of protein, that's good. Okay. You starting your second box on Sunday. Okay. All right. Here, how's it going? How's the weight loss going? You know? How's that going for you guys? Hey, Auntie Mama, how you doing? So great to have you here. You know, how's the weight loss going on the 10 and on the 7.5? Okay, Joshua, you love to eat yogurt. Joshua, you yes. Yes. Joshua, you're fit as a fiddle, as they say. Yes, that enjoy the youth. So yeah, and that Felicia, how is it going? With the weight loss? Is it still like 1 to 2 pounds a week? Is it any more? So let me know. So again, some questions for your doctor. How do you track progress beyond the scale? And when to consider increasing your dose. Oh, wow, that's good. And that said, I lost 6 pounds as of last week, gained almost a pound back, but it's going back down. Yeah, well, you know how that goes. That's great. That is absolutely great. Yeah, I said I was going to try to do keto. It's just, my channel used to be Keto Queen, and I changed it because keto is strictly 20 carbs. It's 20 carbs, basically meat and vegetables. And I just couldn't do the 20 carbs. So I said, well, let me just do low carbs, 100 carbs maximum a day. And now that I'm with the nutritionist and stuff, that varies. Because when you put it in my Fitness Pal, like I think they said 30 to 40 carbs per meal, 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal. So that's really what I'm working on. So that would bring me about at 100 to 120 carbs, and the same thing for the grams of protein. So you have to be very, very intentional for that. Very intentional. And that's why people always say meal prep, meal plan, all of that, because you really do. If you're going to really do it successfully. Yeah, I'm saying you, because I'm not meal prepping and planning like I should. Okay, Felicia says, yes, it's 1 to 2 pounds a week of weight loss. And oh, great, 79 pounds down, but the weight loss slows down after a while. Okay, you've been on for 9 months, but that's good. 79 pounds in 9 months. Are you in the U.S.? Because those kind of numbers, 79 pounds in 9 months, that's good. Because I started in January, and this is the end of July, and I'm still at that 20-pound mark, and it's still, if I don't count today, it's 20 pounds. That 18 to 20. And so that's, let's see, January to June. That's 24 months. Yeah, roughly about 24 months. So that's good. And that would have been 36 months for you. Okay, you're in California. Okay. I'm going to try the OMAD again. Yeah. Hopefully you'll get to Wonderland. Yes. Okay, you started in January. See, and you're down 44 pounds. Good. That's good. Yeah, mine has been slow. I was on 2.5, literally, from January to April. Because That 2.5, the first week, I lost about 13 pounds. But after that, I stalled dramatically. And then I couldn't get my constipation together. It was brutal. So I opted not to titrate up until I got that under control because I was nervous. I was afraid. I was like, if you don't get this together, it's going to be a disaster if you get any stronger medication. So I really wasn't losing that much weight on the 2.5 after that first, like I say, that first dose. I think, I did a video, of course, about it, but that stall, that was a long stall. So January, February, March, April, yeah, that was the first 16 weeks, first 16 doses. And so, yeah, so then I went up to 5.0. Let me see, April and May, June, yeah, July. So here we are. We'll see what happens. Oh, you started at 7.5. That's great. Yeah, see, I started at 2.5. That's good. Yeah. So we'll see, we'll see what happens. I know, yeah, again, it's been a long journey, but, thank you. Slow and steady wins the race. When I look back, like I said, and realize that, okay, over the last, from 2022 to now, that's 3 years, you've lost 60 pounds, then, you're not doing too bad, okay? You're not doing too bad, so it's okay. And none of that will really matter once I get, to my weight goal. None of that will really matter of how long it took. It'll just at best encourage somebody else who is around my age in their 60s, who is struggling with weight loss and who has been struggling with weight loss for a long time. So that's why I'm making the videos to say, okay, look, if I can do it, if I can use this as a tool and be successful, trust me, anybody can do it because I am the queen of snacks. That's why I like to try to find so many low carb snacks or something, because I love to snack. It's not really the eating for me. And I know that sounds like that sounds crazy. What's that show, My 600-Pound Life, when they say, well, I don't really eat that much. It sounds crazy, but I'm a snacker. I am a snacker. Yes, I do eat, but I snack and snack and snack, and that's my problem. So, yeah, some questions. Yeah, just again, when to titrate up. What about the side effects, when you have like nausea, fatigue, and constipation? Those are some of the main side effects that people go through and how to deal with those. So those are just some things that, you could sit down and talk to your doctor about if you're deciding to get on a GLP-1 medication. It's different for everybody. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's weight loss is different, but like I said, once it happens, and it really doesn't matter. So, and it takes, that's what I wanted to talk about, like the mental, emotional, and physical aspect of it, because it really takes some time for your body and your mind to catch up with the medication. And for me, that's my experience. It takes time because you want to lose and you want to do everything right. Like when the PA began to explain to me about the importance of doing the training and the strength training so that I would lose muscle, so that I would lose fat rather than muscle. The way she explained it just brought light because, prior to that, I'm like, well, look, I'm walking, I'm getting exercise in. But again, you don't want to just, you don't want to begin to lose muscle. And that's what happens. That's when people say, okay, you've got the Ozempic butt, you got the Ozempic face, yada, yada, yada. you want to, hey, Tammy 70, so glad to have you here. I saw your message. Excuse me. So that's when you really want to, try to do it the right way, because I'm struggling now as it is. Don't get me wrong. I am enjoying the weight loss. This is a little dress I bought. And I got this little dress. I don't know if y'all have Rainbow, but I got this little dress from Rainbow. Excuse me. Now, there was a time I couldn't even shop at Rainbow. No, it just couldn't shop at Rainbow, period. But now I got a little dress from there. I don't even know what size it is, but I mean, like I could get some leggings, like some 4X leggings or something like that, but prior. But as far as like an outfit, no. You go to Rainbow. That's like a local Shein. When you want some stuff that's real cute. And that said, I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure we still have Rainbow. Yeah, I just take my kids in there. But, they started having plus size, but even their plus, I couldn't fit. So I do recognize the changes. But again, if you want to have some control, this is what I'm telling myself. If I want to have some control, yeah, and that just said, you said Shein and it popped up on my phone. Yeah, there's a setting that allows Google to listen, for the purpose of providing you proper ads or feedback or whatever. Somebody was talking about that on the social media, one of the social medias, that, yeah, they can listen. It happens all the time. You could be talking about something, and then the next thing you know, it comes up on the commercial in YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I know what I was talking about, like the physical aspect, because you just begin to lose weight. Like one arm is smaller than the other. And I mean, for me, significantly smaller. Like, probably nobody else notices it, but I notice it. You know how we are, ladies. We notice stuff that probably nobody else notices. I can't even remember which one it is, but one is smaller than the other. In my stomach, I'm losing weight on one side and not so much on the other, but that might be because of that surgical, the mass that I have, which when I went to the doctor today, it is a hernia, y'all. It's a hernia. For those of you who know, I had this mass in my stomach. It was there before, but now that I'm losing weight, it's kind of protruding a little bit more. And it's a mass, but it's a hernia. I'm not going to say it's a mass. It's a hernia. And it comes from having C-sections. I had 3 C-sections out of the 5 children that I had. Get out! Really? Oh, we need to talk. Oh my goodness. Wow. I wish I knew how to bring, because I'm not on StreamYard. I wish I knew how to bring you up here so that you could talk, because I didn't want to get surgery, but the way that, he was talking about it, like everything is weight related. So he was like, once you get your BMI down more, we can talk about it. He did say, which I already knew, my hernia is massive. Okay, it's big. It's about 5 to 7 inches from my navel all the way down. Okay, and so he was like, the surgical specialist, he was like, I wouldn't even want to do that surgery without bringing in a hernia specialist because of the size. He was like, you're just noticing it more because you're losing weight. I said, exactly. That's why I'm here. So he was like, but it's not hurting you. It's not bothering you. He was like, you know, there may have to be some reconstructive surgery. So the best thing to do is to wait until you lose more weight. Get your BMI down to about 40. I was like, I don't know if that'll happen, because right now it's at 53, but you know, whatever. They didn't use a woman to measure a woman's BMI, so we can't always go by that, because you know we carry more fat than men. But anyway, yeah, so I was looking to see if I missed any comments. So he was like, the best thing to do is just leave it there. Yeah, I told him it was starting to bother me a little bit. But it's not really causing me pain. It's just sort of an antagonizing type of pull sometimes, depending on which way I turn. You know, and I've been exercising. And I just walked away from there. I really had to get my mind right when I left out of there, because, and I did a video. I don't think I posted it, because when I got back to my car, I did a video. But I was just like, oh my God, Kim, like, what have you done to your body over the years? Like in college, I was this health guru, you know, big afro, dashiki type girl. And then, you know, it just went somewhere. But it's all good. But I was just like, oh, you have a large hernia in your belly, like 5 to 7 inches. That's not small, y'all. I'm looking around trying to see, like, you know, so, but I'm not going to worry about it. God is good. He has kept me all this time. You know, I'm just blessed. And so I said, well, it's out of my control. Only thing I can do is continue to lose weight. And then, you know, if they decide that they want to remove it, maybe I'll get that reconstructive surgery and everything else all at once to remove the skin and everything. Who knows? But anyway, once again, I digress. But the second thing I wanted to talk about was the mental and physical, you know, aspects of this this weight loss journey, which brings me to that. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I was saying talk to the doctors about your levels. I found out I had stage 3 CKD right before I had the surgery. I did not pay it any attention on my test results because it was not in the red. What's CKD? What's CKD? Yeah, he was like, not unless it's really bothering you or obstructing you or any of your other organs. So, you know, as you begin this, oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, now that was what, you know, yeah, when I was on Ozempic, that's why I stopped Ozempic. I started Ozempic in 2022 and I was on it for about 5 months because my, got you. Got you. Had you been on the GLP-1? No, because you said you just started in January. Yeah. Well, they had told me that they wanted to watch my doctor said watch my kidney levels because they were low. And I just immediately panicked and I stopped. I stopped using Ozempic, but I was already down like 46 pounds in about 4.5 months. So, yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that. And I know you're maintaining it. I know you're working on that. Oh, you started it in November 2022. Get out of here. Get out. Don't tell me that. Yeah, I mean, isn't that one of the side effects? I know that was one of the side effects for Ozempic. And so, yeah. And And so, you know, my doctor was like, well, we just have to keep an eye on it. We have to watch it, blah, blah, blah. And those are, let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm going to have you as a guest in that. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have you as a guest. If if you don't mind, you're willing to share that. That's really something. Yes, I see. I know what you meant. You gained all the weight back. Yeah, so Annette was saying, because I know when people watch the replay, they don't always go through the chat. Um, Annette was saying that she had talked to her doctors about talk about her level. She said she found out that she had stage 3 kidney disease right before she had surgery, and she did not pay it any attention on her test results because it was not in the red. The test results said you had it in 2022, and you had started Mounjaro in 2022. So that's what I'm like, did you have it before you started Mounjaro or after? And then Annette says you lost 96 pounds, stopped taking the medicine because your coupon expired, and you gained all the weight back. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so you had it before you started Mounjaro. Okay. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, that's, again, that's one of the side effects, and that's you know, but like you said, you had it before that, so it had nothing to do with that. But that was my worry with the Ozempic. And just trying to drink lots and lots and lots and lots of water. For me, excuse me, because when we put all of these medications in our bodies, we have to drink more and more and more water. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult. I want to wean myself off of the high blood pressure. When I went today, yes. When I went today, my blood pressure has been getting lower. It's been low, but it's been getting lower. Today it was like 122 over 60, or maybe like 122 over 66, something like that. But normally it's like 130 over something. So I really want to start weaning myself, or asking the doctor about weaning myself off of the high blood pressure. That's one of those things that you can't, in my opinion, I am not a doctor, that you can't just not take. You got to try to wean yourself off of it. I believe that with a lot of medications. Like I don't ever see myself not taking the thyroid medication, but who knows, if I drop, and get down to Wonderland, then it's possible. And I never thought about Wonderland. I'm going to be honest. I never thought about Wonderland. I was just like, I'll be happy to get into the twos. I haven't seen the twos in God knows when. But I was invited on a live this past Saturday, Keto Granny, my weight loss journey with Keto Granny, and she's lost 100 pounds, over 100 pounds. And M. Ray was on there. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she's lost over 100 pounds. Yes. Did you see M. Ray on there? And her highest weight was like over 300. I think she said it was like 319. Yeah, she doesn't have a channel. She's not like a content creator at all. But yeah, so her highest weight was like 3 something. Okay, yes, yes. And I did not know that because, I've seen her, she's so small. And Yeah, I think she was at like in the 180s or maybe even lower. She would. She absolutely would. But yeah, she was giving out great advice. You know, we're all three of us, Keto Granny, her and myself, are all, you know, in our 60s. And she has gotten that weight off and she lives by keto. Ray, if you're somewhere listening, you definitely inspired me on all levels. Excuse me. Because she lives by keto. I mean, that's her lifesaver. Meat and vegetables, meat and vegetables. And, you know, like I said, keto is 20 carbs. It works for some people and some people doesn't. Keto Granny, that's how she said she lost her weight on keto, and she still does keto. Keto, you will lose weight on keto. I've done it before, but you have to be strong, okay, to get rid of those carbs. And carbs cause cravings. So when you don't eat carbs, you don't have as many cravings. Yeah, you only eat 20 carbs a day on keto. You know, that's a little bit of carbs, all right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 20 carbs, not per meal, per day. And so for someone like me who used to have a donut, which was about 60 carbs, and a coffee, which was 60 to 70 from Dunkin' Donuts, that was a drastic move to try to do that. Let's see. That's good, Annette. All you wanted is protein. Yes, Felicia, that's dedication. It is. It can be habit forming, but again, you know, they say it takes 21 days for a habit to change. You know, it's like once you do it, you can't go back. Like, you know, I'm a retired teacher, and people always say teachers make the worst students. Okay. We have all the answers, but the implementation is the issue. Okay. It's just like I would tell a student who would be working hard, coming to tutoring, yada, 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 to get from that, you know, high C to an A. You know, they've been working and, like I say, studying, and they get to the A and they're just like, oh, I did it. And I would be like, well, guess what? You see all of that it took for you to get there. You're going to have to work just as hard, if not harder, to stay there. You just can't relax. You know, I would tell my students, you know, for high school, because, you know, the classes are per semester. I was like, work hard first semester, because if you burn out, if you get that A or B from first semester, you might be able to float second quarter. Yes, how doctors make the worst patients, all of that. Because, you know, I'm about to go down the education rabbit hole. Thank you, Felicia, for bringing me back. But yeah, I mean, I know what to do. It's just doing it, you know. And so keto is good. When I did keto, it worked. But you got to stick to it. You can't backslide. You can't you can't treat I can't treat myself or anything. That's just like, I have this video I want to share with y'all. I haven't put it out yet. I got so many videos in my phone. But for the month of May, I didn't eat out. I was like, I'm not doing any fast food, slow food, no restaurants, nothing. I did nothing for May. Soon as June hit, I was like, okay, I did that. Let me go out here. I can buy me something to eat. I can go through a drive-through, you know, eating stuff. I mean, I'm getting chicken. You know, I'm trying to like eat reasonably, kind of. You know, when you don't eat all day and you get hungry, you just want to go get something to eat or order. I ordered like what was it? And they're so good. Garlic Parmesan wings from Pizza Hut. That's protein. But honey, so I did all of that. And then something said, I know it was the Holy Spirit. Something said, go through your phone, go through your account, and see how much money you've spent all of June And I did this about 2 weeks ago because I haven't even, I sort of slowed down after I realized it. Go through your phone, go through your account, and see how much you spent on fast food or just eating out for June and the top of July. Come on, y'all, take a guess. Put a number. Put a number. I'll wait. I'm not, I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, I'm holding on to the middle class as hard as I can. I'm at the bottom of that totem pole, so it's not like super. Okay, and that says 200. Felicia 200. Hey, Kitty K, all day. How are you? 265, y'all. $265. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, girl, you got to get it together. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to go back, start again, no eating out, no fast food. Because, that's real money. That's not, that's real money. It is. And it's not healthy. It's not the healthiest thing for you. I done said garlic parmesan. I'm thinking about those now. So let's say for August, because I'm going out of town. So when I come back, because I go back to work August 1st. So from August, I'm going to have to go back to no more fast food, no more slow food, no more eating out. Make myself cook and prepare my meals, because that's just too much. That's too much money. That's too much money. Yes, it is, Candy K, all day. All right. It is fast food, it's expensive and trash. For real, for real. I gotta come back over there and watch one of your videos. I wanted to watch. I know you did a video. I think I did watch some of it, but I know you did a video about the new Faceless channel and what what it's all about. I'm gonna have to come over there and talk to you about it. But I want to see that video because I have a Faceless channel, so I really want to know. Let's see. Tracy Twine had an episode. She talked about the sodium. Yes. That changed my mindset about eating out. Then I went to visit my sister. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. When you don't eat it for a long time, two things for me happen. Like you said, the sodium, everything was so salty. And then the inflammation. The inflammation is off the charts. Like I could feel it in my knees. Since I've lost weight, my knees are like more mobile, or I feel more mobile. My knees, I can move around a little bit, but DK said, how many channels you got? Yes, listen, I'm trying to get some coins. But yeah, the inflammation. Hey, M. Ray, how are you? Speak of the angel. I've been talking about you in this live, how inspirational you were when we did the collab on Saturday. But yeah, it's the saltiness. Like we have restaurant week. I did a video, but I didn't post it. But we have restaurant week, and one of my girlfriends and I, we went out like for restaurant week, where all of the restaurants that want you to try their business or whatever, they will give you a discounted menu, yada yada yada. So we went out for restaurant week last week, and thank you. That was Keto Granny. That was her. That was her channel. That's my buddy too, because she definitely inspires me. But yeah, and so anyway, make a long story short, we went out to a restaurant, and I ordered a crab cake sandwich. Let me tell y'all something. That sandwich was so salty, I could not eat it. It was a very big sandwich, so I took my fork and pinched off the crab meat, and I ate it, and it was like, I tasted it and it was very salty. So then I tasted it again. And I can tell you for truth, my eyes started like doing something, like I could feel like my pressure. So I was like, I just let it sit there. So I told my, I couldn't eat it. And I was like, I'll pay for it. It doesn't matter. I just can't eat it. So they changed it. And I got a Wagyu burger, which I hadn't even been eating beef. Yeah, it was salty. And so I only ate half of that burger because that was salty. It wasn't as salty as the crab cake sandwich, but I couldn't eat it. It was too salty. Yeah, let's see. And I saw that episode with Twan. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to look at that. Yeah, because it's so much sodium. And that sodium will swell you up in a heartbeat. And I can tell when I've been eating a lot of salt in my knees. I can feel that inflammation in my knees. Yeah, salmon when you're out. Smart choice. Smart choice. My girlfriend, we looked over at somebody else's plate. It's like, oh, that salmon looks good. Yeah, smart choice. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to start cooking my food. Just being intentional about it. Because that's the process, and it takes a while. It takes a while to get in touch, with your emotions. You do. I love crab cakes too. I was trying to do the pescatarian journey, so I can't wait when I go back. I can't wait to see if my cholesterol has come down, because my cholesterol was up. That's one of the side effects of being a pescatarian. But yeah, just the emotion, going through some emotions when you're on this GLP-1, this weight loss journey. The emotions of noticing when you eat, why you eat, what you eat, all of that, because, previously you didn't really, I'm speaking for myself, I didn't really think about it. I'm just doing what I do and, rewarding myself with food. Being in church all my life, don't drink, don't smoke. You just, you reward yourself with food and all the children that I had. Y'all get my drift? So that's how you reward yourself. You go out to dinner, you go to a movie, yada, yada, yada. So you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful now, And then, when you begin to have, trauma or drama or whatever's going on, I know for me, that's just what I do. And I used to justify it. And that was Mikey. Yeah, we call Lorna that, Mikey. She'll eat everything. If she don't like it, it's not good. But I used to justify it by like, okay, well, I don't drink, I don't smoke, da, 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 da. So, I'm rewarding myself with food. It's not a bad thing. But, like I said previously, if you gain 10 pounds a year over a 10-year period, that's 100 pounds. I'm 20 years carrying this weight. 20 years. Up and down, up and down, and not a significant amount of up and down, because I've been more up than down, And I remember asking my mom, I was like, I'm approaching my 50s. I didn't really listen to you that much in my 30s and my 40s. I'm ready to listen to you now. Tell me what I need to do. She said, all that food you've been eating, it's about to catch up with you. You better get your health in order. And I was like, oh my God, I thought you was going to tell me something I could do. And y'all know, listen, Candy K said, that's nuts, but you're on your way down. Yeah, and I mean, look, those of us who have been in the church, born and raised in the church, I mean, everything you do is surrounded by food. That's the church's open vice. It may not be their secret vice, but that's the open vice. Food, you know what I mean? You celebrate with food, you have banquets, you know, whatever you're doing, you're eating. And, you know, that's just like when I came up, it was popular or okay when you had babies to gain weight. I gained 60 pounds with my first child, and she was a bag of sugar. She was like 5 pounds, 10 ounces. You know, there was a Haagen-Dazs ice cream shop right on the corner of the apartment we lived at. And my husband used to go down there and get 2 pints, one for him and one for me, because he had, you know, sympathy pain or whatever you want to call it. He'd get 2 pints of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. You know, and so that's, you know, that's what you would do. You would eat. And I had gained 60 pounds. I couldn't fit nothing, couldn't wear nothing. I was so depressed. And I'll never forget, we had Gimbals. I'm telling my age. We had a store called Gimbals. That was in Philadelphia. Hey, Kim King, how are you? So glad to have you in the building. Let's see. A mental thing I have dealt with is being almost upset when I sat down to eat something I was looking forward to and then got full after a few bites. That's real. That is definitely real. Candy K said, food is big in our culture, period, to our detriment. That's why I was up at 2:30 in the morning making a pound cake for my uncle. Yeah, oh, listen, it wasn't nothing. 20, 30 pounds of chitlins during the holiday, Thanksgiving or Christmas. You was going to make them for one or the other, you know. But I just got, after my third child, I just was like, I don't care anymore. I don't care. And at that time, I was probably like about a size 20, you know, and I got married at like a 12, 14. But yeah, because I was saying my husband, we had a Gimbals, and he was like, come on, I'm going to take you somewhere. And he took me to Gimbals, and he made me buy a couple of dresses. Like, he bought me a couple of dresses. Like, you got to get out this house. You're going to have to find something to wear. And I distinctively remember I bought a brownish rust color shirt, polyester shirt dress, button down the front. I was done. I was just too done. Okay. But yeah, I got over it. I got over it quick after the third baby. I was just like, it is what it is, you know. But yeah, you just have to, so now I have to change the mindset, change the emotions, change the mental, change all of that. And that's a process. You know, I thought I was going to get on this GLP-1, get on it for a year, get out. You know, I'm not going to stay on it. I don't want this medicine in my body, but clearly that's not going to happen. You know, most of the people out in the GLP-1 community are on it for more than a year, some 2. I don't want to be on it for the rest of my life. No way. You know, so I'm going to have to get a completely different mindset when it comes to food. However long that takes, I hope it doesn't take more than 2 years. You know, but yeah, I definitely don't want to stay on it for a long time. Definitely not. So guys, I have been on here for an hour. That's my time. I'm not a long-winded preacher. Oh, and that says you'll be keeping yours as long as your insurance pays for it. Yeah. You know, I'm saying that now. When I started out, I just don't know how I feel about that. You know, because you know, the math of it is just not working for me. It's the medicine is working for me, but the math of the medicine is not working for me. You know, again, I'm a retired math teacher, so the numbers are just like, hey, Perrin Family USA, hey Nancy, how you doing? The numbers are just like one. Yes, you did. So yeah, so you're speaking from another point of view, clearly. Yes, indeed. You know, losing 1 to 2 pounds a week with an injection is, for me, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm probably even doing less than that. The numbers are not adding up, because in my finite mind, if I ate right without the injection, if I exercised and ate right, I would lose 1 to 2 pounds a week or more. If I did keto correctly, I would lose 1 to 2 pounds a week or more without an injection. But I'm going to say what M. Ray said. I learned some stuff from you, sis. She said that the GLP-1 gave her the boost that she needed. You know, it was you know, I'm not going to say a lifesaver because she already lost some weight, but it still gave her that kick, that boost that she needed. And so this is obviously what I need. As much as I can, you know, use logic and knowledge, I'm still not losing any weight without it. I did the 75 soft challenge and I lost 18 pounds, but I gained half of that back when I got off the 75 soft challenge. You know, I lost, you see what I'm saying? So it's got, whatever's clicking, it's got to stay there. Kendi K said, oh, thanks for speaking so candidly about this. Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. Don't forget to ask those questions about your levels, your labs, and all of that good stuff. I appreciate y'all because, you know, I could go on and on. This is like a phone call. You be on a phone call with a friend. You be like, what? We've been talking for a couple hours. M. Ray said, yes, I typically lost 2 to 3 pounds a week on keto. Yeah. I knew I needed a boost. Come January, I had gained about 10 pounds in a 2-week span. And I was being triggered, and I knew I was being triggered, but I didn't really care, you know, because like I was saying, like, what? Come on. I've been praying to Jesus. I've been doing everything. Can I just have a potato chip? Can I get a potato chip? You know? So I started gaining weight in January, and I gained 10 pounds. Half of that, whatever that was, 80, 50, 75 soft or whatever. And so I was like, that's not going to work. I need a boost. And my doctor, just, Kendi K, I don't know about your insurance or where you are, but my doctor said that my insurance would pay for Mounjaro over Zepbound because I asked for Zepbound. They're both the same as far as I know, what I know about it. But, of course, your doctor will clarify that. But, yeah. And my insurance did pay for it. I'm grateful for that. So, yeah. M. Ray says, so I understand where you're coming from, the math. Yeah. You know, and I talked this, if y'all know Joe's Sleep and Slim Down journey, I'm going to have her as a guest in the future. We're working it out and setting everything up. She's wonderful. Fresh plain lays are my nemesis. Woo-wee. But yeah, because the UK loses significantly more than the US. And we're going to talk about that on August 9th. She's going to be my guest on August 9th. And we are going to talk about the UK, what they lose. She was on Downsizing Diva, so if you want to see her, you can go check out Downsizing Diva. That's where I saw her at. She was on a live with Downsizing Diva, and it was really good. But she mentioned some things, and I wanted to just get some expand on that. Okay, what's BCBS? Y'all been putting these acronyms in here. Thank you. Kendi K, what's BCBS? What is that? I'm waiting. Oh, okay, I'm slow. Blue Cross Blue Shield, yes. Yes, U.S. is the land of excess. You got that right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Blue Cross. Yeah, I have Humana. I used to have Blue Cross Blue Shield. They were good. But honey, I hit Medicare, so that's when, you know, I hit that age. So glad to have y'all in the building. I'm about to get up out of here. That's it. And I don't know. Y'all pray for me. I just might Because I said August. I said I was going to start in August. Why did I talk about those garlic Parmesan wings? Why? Why did I do it? No, I'm not going to do it. I got a salad. I got a salad from Publix in the refrigerator. So I'm going to eat that salad and be good. I promise. I promise. Cross my heart. So, yeah. Thank you. She said, come on, Medicare. Thank you for, yes, best of luck on the 10. The 10 is in. I'm waiting for it. Now, if I be knocked out tomorrow, because you know it do make you a little tired, but I'm ready. All right, y'all. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you for being here. Love the YouTube fam. Low carb journey, low carb life with your low carb queen. And remember, every day is a new beginning. Bye-bye.